Uno, dos, tres. Alright, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is special guest Melissa for today. Yay!
Yay!
Welcome.
Thank you. I always expect you to say Chris's name, and it's so weird to not hear it.
Yeah, like it's like a computer saying it, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't really say our intro. Because I do it like a robot. Because it sounds the same every week.
It does sound the same every week.
But that's just me saying it. That's crazy. So the reason why Chris is not here, he's doing he's in Savannah right now, Savannah, Georgia, which is 4 hours away from here.
So far away.
Yeah, it's super far. And his over there because he's gonna be taking care of his sister after she do surgery tomorrow. So yeah, that's why he is not here. But the reason why I wanted to do the episode today is because if we don't post tomorrow, Apple's going to say we're not posting enough and they're going to make our podcast. It's going to say that we update semi-monthly, which is fucking bullshit. So that's the reason why we're doing it today, so I could upload tomorrow, then we might be okay. And then also Friday, we're going to do the episode with Chris. So there's going to be 2 episodes in 1 week. So that makes up for the week that I was out for COVID.
Yeah, you're working that overtime.
Yep. So I'm making up for lost time. All right. If you guys want to buy some t-shirts, head over to the MediaHijack.com. Grab you some official Media Hijack t-shirts. Also, if you guys want to visit us on Reddit, be a member, join our community, and you guys can post whatever you want. I meant to post a UFO video, but I completely forgot, and I will do that tonight. If I remember, though. Also, if you guys want to catch the replay for this Twitch video, head over to our YouTube page. Also, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Give us 5 stars on
only 5 stars.
iTunes. Also, Spotify, you can rate us too, but I think you have to listen to us for 5 minutes or something, and then they will let you rate the podcast. Something like that. I don't know the details. But yeah, we're going to get started with this podcast, and I'm going to let Melissa take the torch, and we're going to be talking about force soul removal.
Or is that what we're starting with?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do a backstory of how we got here?
Oh yeah, tell them about the iceberg conspiracy chart and what that is all about.
Oops. So, Billy over here came across this video about the conspiracy theory iceberg, like the final part of the iceberg. So imagine an iceberg. Obviously, I'm sure I've seen those memes where it's just like giant iceberg and the things in the middle. I never really understood that meme, by the way.
Oh, really?
Fun fact.
It's like more than meets the eye. Like you just see the top layer, but there's always more shit that we're not seeing.
Yeah, I understand it now. It took me till you showed me that iceberg, the list of all the conspiracy theories, to really truly understand what the meme meant. But anyway, this YouTube video talks about the conspiracy theories that at least I've never heard of the majority of these. But they're like very, very bottom to the list. The very bottom.
You're talking about like the deepest conspiracies, right?
Yes.
Super
deep.
Crazy. Yeah. So what was it? 9.
Mind-blowing.
It's like 9 levels of conspiracies. And then like the top level would be like tier 1, and it'd be like a lot of the basic stuff that everybody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Someone's calling.
How dare they?
That's my mom. How dare she?
Oh.
But yeah, so the top will be like the light conspiracy, which I read a lot of the ones on the top, and I don't think it's light like that, but it's the common ones like reptilians, underground people,
Atlantis, Ouija boards.
Atlantis, Ouija board, like that's like the base level of conspiracy. That's like the starter. That's like the starter kit.
Mm-hmm.
Jew conspiracy.
That one's called the Skyline.
What is the skyline?
That's like the top ones: the GMOs,
Oh
UFOs,
yeah, yeah.
Epstein, Flat Earth,
Chemtrails.
Mandingo. I wanted to say that name.
Shell Shock says she's calling to say you're famous and she saw you on TV.
Oh
Maybe,
shit! Why didn't you pick up?
maybe she did. Yeah, she's checking me. She's checking on me, see if I'm recovered.
Making sure you're alive.
Yeah. I was like, you didn't check on me like the last 5 years.
But you get COVID, and now she wants to make sure you're okay.
I was like, I told you, I'm already at work. Stop calling. Spam call.
That's rude.
Yeah, that's why spam they can never get me because I don't even pick up
Oh, I
the
don't
phone
either.
from my mom. I'm like, what do you think I'm gonna pick up their call? But I do pick up the phone, by the way. It's just sometimes I don't because I'll be busy sometimes.
Hmm.
I was like, oh nope, wrong timing.
Bad timing.
All right, you can go ahead and start on this
Anyway,
the forced soul removal, which we're gonna be covering that. That's part of this is the part of the bottom of the tier list. So forced removal is like level 9 tier. It's like the end of the conspiracy iceberg. So this one's supposed to be like the most hardcore.
which
Which is not hardcore, but it kind of
it's not.
it might be real.
I think it's 100% real.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
forced soul removal is essentially being possessed. Whether it be by something negative, which is most possessions are negative. But the way this guy explains it on this YouTube video is that every human is born with a soul, but it can be taken from you. Um, Things like traumatic events or disbelief over time can leave you open and vulnerable to having your soul being taken and replaced with an entity. Um,
So like a traumatic event, I would assume it's like something like, let's say, you've been raped and stuff, or you've been like brutally beaten like as a child, or like a teenager, and you're going through these crazy events to where you don't really care like that no more. So your soul is like opened up to it's vulnerable, open up to like dark spirits to enter because you left it open, because almost like you don't really care like that no more,
mm-hmm.
almost like you're wishing that you would die. So that's like
Yeah.
when the soul feels that, like, oh shit, they left like a free opening for me to just jump in and get a piece of that soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I view it as too. Like you've just been beaten over and over and over, emotionally, mentally, and physically, to the point where you just want to give up, but your body won't let you actually give up. So you just give up emotionally and let whatever you want welcome in. But I think sometimes people do that unknowingly, that they're welcoming in something negative to them.
Yeah, like it can always. Another thing that he was saying is like you can actually even give your soul away,
Yeah.
which would be like, like if you're in like some kind of death cult or something, or if you want something in return, and then you don't really think like the soul thing is real, so you purposely give your soul away.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a what would you call that?
Possession.
No, like when you just give it away. All too much
I don't know.
silence. But yeah, continue.
Uh, the one point that he made was like if you think of haunted places like
A
asylums, um
sacrifice, forced
yes,
sacrifice.
sacrifice, that's the word.
Volunteer sacrifice, volunteer soul giving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
that's what.
selling yourself
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
devil kind of thing.
Yep.
um anyway, haunted places like asylums are obviously known to be haunted, but something like an asylum, like a mental asylum, or like a mental hospital, that's the same thing. Anyway, any kind of type of asylum, you're put in a place probably where you don't want to be. So your soul is being chipped away, and your everything is being chipped away. That leaves a part of your soul behind. So when you pass, even if you might not actually pass in the mental hospital, you pass somewhere else, your soul probably, or that soul stays there. So when they pass, they're still looking for an empty vessel to take over, which is why they're haunted.
Which
I
is
mean,
why, like, like people when they go to haunted places like that, sometimes, like, they go in feeling negative and stuff, and then those spirits that are at there over there, like at the hospital and stuff, they would jump on you. They ride on your back. That's what we call it. Like in Asia, they said, "Hey, don't let that ghost ride on your back." Like if you're going to like a cemetery or wherever, you're trying to go to a creepy place for fun. It's like, okay, watch when that ghost jump on your back and then go to your house with you, stuck on you like that.
yeah, that's like spirits, especially well, any kind of spirit will drain your energy to the point where you're weak, and then they latch on. So it's essentially exactly the same thing that you said.
So it's good to watch stand-up comedy. Make sure you're always positive.
It's good to protect yourself.
What would be like a way for you to protect yourself that you can do?
I think it's different for everybody, but for me personally, um, and I think generally for a lot of people too, is they rely on crystals, and then also a lot of people rely on prayer. So whether they go in or they go in, they say a prayer like the Lord's Prayer, um, or they say a prayer while they're walking through there. For me personally, I wouldn't necessarily rely on prayer. I would rely on like charged crystals to help protect me, even though I would also pray in a way where I'm like speaking to my spirit guide, um, and just asking them for protection, and also just even announcing when you're walking into a known place that is negative, just announcing that like, hey, I'm here. I don't want any negativity. Like nothing is going to attach to me. You're not welcome is enough even in itself to
Yeah.
stop any kind of negativity to happen.
Yeah, I think that's all you just have to do. Is saying, hey, you guys are not welcome to harm me in any way, and then you should be okay because there is rules from a lot of stuff I've been listening to, like other people talk like this. There's rules between like this dimension and the dimension they're in. They can't just do whatever they want unless you give them permission to do whatever, and they'll be like,
Right.
oh, he gave me permission, I can do all this shit now.
Yeah.
But as long as you set your grounds on what exactly like you want protection and you don't want nobody to fuck with you'll be okay.
Hmm. And an example I can give you, which I told you about, something that happened to me personally in my house, is I think this was at least a month ago, at the very least. I noticed my one cat. Both of my cats never did this, just the one, my male cat. I was sitting in my living room, minding my business, just had the TV on, and in both situations, it was during the day, but it was different times of the day. But the last time this happened, it was kind of in the like later afternoon. And again, I was sitting in my living room watching TV, and I noticed that my cat was paying attention to something that was in the air, but nothing was there. So I just thought that maybe it was a bug. But the way that he was just paying attention to it, he was just sitting there, just looking in one direction, and then he'd look like slowly somewhere else, and then back to the same direction. So it wasn't like a typical like moth or like a fly that was flying around that he was just hunting. It was something had his attention. I don't know what it was. I still have no idea what it was.
It's like in
But
the ceiling or something.
it so it was in my dining room, and it looked like it was above my table. Just the way that he was looking up, but he was looking like up towards the ceiling, but almost like whatever he was looking at was almost right above him.
Hmm.
So I thought it was weird, and he was doing that for a while, for at least 10 minutes.
So what were you thinking the whole time?
Fuck is he staring at? Or what is there? So I tried like paying attention to the energy in my house, and I didn't feel any negativity. I felt just a little uneasy because it wasn't something that I could explain. So I never had something like this happen. Like occasionally my other cat, she'll just notice something on the stairs, but I think it might be the neighbors that she hears, like their noises.
So the neighbors are on your stairs?
Well, no,
I'm just playing.
yeah, or my other cat will come downstairs and she just like stares right at him.
Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah, I believe like cats and dogs,
they see
they can
spirits.
see
They see things.
spirits. Yeah, either they see it
Cats
or they can definitely feel like the presence.
cats are more specifically really good for protection. But anyway, back to my story before it gets to be too long. Um, I said out loud, whatever is here is allowed to be here only if you.
Oh, that's where you messed
Um,
up.
well, I basically said to it, like, if you're here to do harm, you're not welcome and you need to get out. But if you're not here to not do any, I don't think I mentioned, this was a while ago, so I don't think I mentioned that if you're not here to not do harm, then you're okay. But I specifically mentioned, like, if you're here to cause any harm to me, my house, myself, anything, then you need to go. And
And they can't lie, right? Just like cops.
right. But then like a couple minutes goes by and Loki, my cat, just like kind of snapped out of it and he was fine. He went back to doing cat things. And it hasn't happened since.
Oh, you might be okay then.
I mean, I feel a little uneasy every
I would
once in a
never
while
say
in my
that
house,
though.
but
Like, yeah, you're if you're cool, you can stay. No, because you gotta think like it's unwelcome in the first place, right? So
hence, I believe my grandmother's spirit is with me in my house at some points, and I welcome that.
yeah, if you feel it and you know for sure, then you're protected.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of people saying like spirits they can pretend to be loved ones to actually trick you to do like weird shit? You know, like when people they dabble into like black magic and stuff and they feel like they're speaking to like a family member that passed over, but then it happens to be like a demon that pretends to be grandma and stuff, and then she tells you, hey, you gotta go do like some weird shit, like stab your sister in her leg, you know?
It's very
And then it'd be like, oh, grandma's telling me to do this shit, I have to do it. But then, they found out that that was not grandma. That
no way that's grandma.
was demon grandma. Shell Shock says, demonic entity or something observing from the fourth dimension makes you wonder. Yeah, that's where they live, fourth dimension. That's a dimension you don't want to go. Like, if you're living in this dimension and then your vibration is so low, you're so negative, you inflict pain on people, you definitely go to the fourth dimension and then you become something like a demon, like a soul that's so fucking lost. You know? That's where you don't want to be. That's why we're here to spread like good shit so you don't go there.
Only positivity.
Yeah, but there's a balance
No
to everything.
negative lights.
There's
Only positive white light is allowed to be entered.
yeah, white light. White light.
White. Anyway, back to forced soul removal. Um,
Whoa, too
I
much
lost.
silence. What's going on?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay. What are we talking about? Force removal, right?
Forced soul removal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we basically talked about everything. I mean, the way to prevent this from not happening is obviously having a positive outlook on life and positive things around you,
Yeah.
and maybe even having a belief in something.
Yeah, believe in something. Yeah, that's what I say. Like if you don't believe in nothing, it's almost like you don't even believe in yourself too. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe in something. Believe in yourself, and
yes, always believe in yourself. That's really all that matters.
yeah, a lot of people doubt themselves though. Me too, at some points. But then it's almost like you go through life and you're like, why the fuck would you keep doubting yourself? Like, how many more years do you have left on this world? Like, why not just take all the chances? right? I say don't wait for opportunities. Just go out there and just, if you want to do it, just do it. Put in that work and whatever your goal is. We're all humans. Anybody can achieve anything.
Anything you set your mind to.
Yep. Shell shock. Oh, I read that. Okay. What's the next topic?
Can I do the next one?
Sure. Can I use the restroom real quick?
Fine.
I don't even know why I'm asking. But yeah, be right back, guys.
Okay. It's essentially just turning your depression into something that's positive. So suppressing depression and just making it positive.
What's the one example?
Of
meditation.
It's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean example?
Okay, so one.
I'm giving an example of my depression and how I made it possible.
No. Okay, so one example for what is it? Depression override.
Yeah.
Would be like when people, they is there noise going on over there? I feel like I hear Kanye's voice. Okay, never mind, it's gone.
Music on.
Oh, you wild. Okay, so one way of depression override, what people do, they resort to meditation. So when they meditate, they're trying to get rid of, depression, or, they just want to get that negative energy out because they don't want to go through it. Or like another way would be like people using drugs. That would be another way of overriding your depression. You're just covering it up with the Band-Aid.
Right. But
what else they say about overriding depression or suppression? Is that what they said?
Yeah. You suppress.
You suppress your emo-ness.
Your
depression, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I can still hear your music. Is it on?
Damn, the used is so loud right now. Sorry.
Why do you have music on?
I like listening to music.
You're on a podcast right now. Just hit stop. You are so crazy.
I turned it down. It's okay.
You're so wild.
I have music playing when I'm streaming.
You're on a podcast now.
I'm sorry.
Shell Sock says I like to party.
Happy. Don't make me
Stop
suppressed.
trying to override something.
Stop trying to override my depression. Anyway.
Hello guys, how's everybody doing? Shell Shock, yep, he likes to party.
Yeah, everybody likes to party.
What else do you have for overriding depression? Why would that be
I think it's funny that he says by turning your depression into making it positive, it's basically performing spiritual alchemy.
That's another way of putting it.
He said that. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was so like, oh, I'm a fucking wizard.
Yeah, I think everything is like that, You do things like we're like casting spells and stuff. You think so?
Yeah, but I think
casting spells, like when people pray, like, oh, I want to pray my sadness away, like they're trying to cast spells, right? Or oh, I pray for like a nice wife or a nice girlfriend and shit. It's like you're putting spells out there. You're wishing for something.
Yeah, you're putting it out to the universe to welcome it to come in and welcome it to be true.
Would that be like the same, like with how people try to suppress their depression, trying to hide it? Well, not hide it, but
no, they're just turning something negative into a positive thing.
That's normal though. Like when people, they feel a lot of anger and they feel like they could kill somebody, they go to the gym instead and work out that.
Normal people do, yeah.
Work out that energy.
Some people actually kill people.
Yeah, that's where all the Netflix documentaries come from. Mm-hmm. All you guys that watch those Netflix murder documentaries, being numb to that.
I mean, they're good. I like a good serial killer documentary.
Yeah, that's like an art form. Like documentaries alone, art form. What else we got?
He said also that we're so concerned with energies, spirituals, and extra dimensions around us that we sometimes take for granted the little miracles that we can perform. Things like taking negative energy and turning it to a positive. Um, but by taking something like negative energy and turning it to positive, you're practicing a form of supernatural powers. So we really are amazing people, all of us.
Yeah, I think we have like the power to like do anything like mental and stuff. You know, like let me give you like an example, like people with like schizo or people with like bipolar. Like let's say like for example, right? Because somebody told me this story last week. They said that, you know, when they were little, their grandma was paralyzed for like her whole life, you know? She never walked the whole time. But when she was on her deathbed, it almost felt like she was possessed by something else that was different. And then guess what she did in her deathbed? She got up off that bed, started walking around the hospital room, and then went into like the corner, took all the clothes off, and just started mumbling like some stuff that's not even in her voice. And when like the family saw her doing that, they're like, "What the hell? We thought she was paralyzed the whole time." So, like, if you think about it, let's say like in this life, right? Let's say you were in a crazy car accident, and doctor said, "Hey, Billy, you can never walk again." But then, like, let's say like I have like bipolar, right? So another personality comes out in my body, and then this dude just walking around like it was nothing, because you know it didn't affect that other personality. So it was like he can walk, of course, and then doctors like
Yeah.
baffled. But this is actually like a thing that goes on like in the medical world, and they can't explain shit like that. Like let's say you remember that movie Split,
Yes.
how like one of his personality was like a demon that can crawl on walls and shit.
Yeah.
I think we possess like the power to do all that. We can walk on walls, walk on water like Jesus, because Jesus was bipolar.
Yeah, it's called forced soul removal.
Yeah, so we can. That's why, like, you know, like when you're in pain, I keep saying, like, it's all in your head, and then I just sound like an asshole trying to help
Yeah,
people.
yeah, you sound like all the old people that are like, "Oh, it's all in your head. You're fine."
It's all in your head, Billy. You can walk, paralyze my ass. Yeah, cause I mean, like on paper, when they look at your spine, like, oh yeah, this shit's all crumbled up. You'll never walk again. But there's like I was listening to this one guy who got into a motorcycle accident, and his spine was literally crushed. Like you can see this shit in the X-ray. Like this dude was done. But the doctor's like, dude, you'll never walk again. Sorry. Like here's the picture. And he was like, no, I'm gonna make sure that I'm able to walk again. So he started doing like really really deep meditations. Like he got so good at it where like this reality wasn't even like a thing no more. Like this reality, he can make it like anything he want. And then he started like thinking about his spine, like his spine regenerating, like the nerves back, so he can walk again. And then guess what?
He can walk again.
He can walk again. And doctor's like, what the fuck? What kind of black magic is this?
That's a fucking miracle.
You know? Yeah, because they're literally like looking at him and like, what the how? Like and he wrote a book all about that. And then he's trying to teach people how to get into that deep state of like meditation, where you can lock into something else to, you know, override like the thoughts that you already put in your head. Like you can't do it. So it's all in your head.
It
This
really
whole
is.
time.
Our biggest enemy is our own self and our mind.
Yeah, Shell Shock says I play Blue and Yellow by the used on the guitar and cursed Chris's name to cast all my negative feelings to him, and it helps.
That's such like a sad, depressing song.
Oh, that's a song?
Yeah.
What song was that?
By the Used.
Oh, I never heard of that. Can you sing
Blue
it?
and Yellow or the Used?
The song?
Do you want me to sing the song?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Are you okay there? Did you just like choke on whenever you were drinking?
Almost, because I was trying to respond and drink at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a fool of myself on podcasts, you know?
I know, right? Like, leave the songs on. Leave the
So,
radio on.
you know
Shell
what? I still
Shock
have it.
says, should have said something, but I said it enough. Wait, what? I'm so lost.
That's the lyrics.
Oh, that's why I have it in all caps.
Yep.
I don't know. Sorry. I bet Chris knows the other one.
You weren't an emo kid? Okay.
Shell Shock, you're emo kid? You wear those big pants? What they call those? Parachutes?
Strip pants or Jenko jeans.
Yeah. You know, like the breakdancer pants? The one, they call it like UFO pants. You ever heard of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob used to have those.
I had the trip pants.
Yeah.
Actually, they still sell trip pants, and they're like over $100. Same with the Jenko jeans; they're like two to
Oh,
three
yeah,
hundred
because it
dollars.
has that nostalgia to it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because they don't make them no more, right?
No, they make them. They just
Oh, they
sell them
do?
for ridiculously priced.
Oh, the shit's hot. They all
So
want
hot.
them.
Fire.
Jeans with the graphic tees, jeans with the dragons on the back pockets. I remember those. I was making a comment about somebody who wore jeans with the dragon on the back of the pocket. And then it forced me to look at his ass, but I was looking at the dragon design. So then I was looking at his ass the whole time. I was like, damn, like, where'd he get those pants? Like, they really nailed it on sewing that dragon on there. Like, it was all sewn like into the jeans. It wasn't even a
Oh wow.
patch. Yeah, I was like, holy
Oh,
shit, that's fucking.
they didn't use the old fashioned like
This
ironing
like made in
thing.
like China by like a 12-year-old who mastered sewing at the age of 5.
Damn.
Shell Shock says I was into pop punk emo band back in the early 2000s.
Same. I was an emo
And you
kid.
slapped the bass? Oh shit.
I didn't slap the bass.
I tried to slap the bass, but it wasn't my instrument. I needed some melody.
I banged on some drums though.
Yeah, I did too.
If
I
I
took
sound
drum
like
class
this.
lessons.
I did too.
Really?
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, drumming. Getting the basics down is easy, but then once you get into like advanced stuff, it's like, oh, my brain can't comprehend.
Yeah.
I didn't like the bass because I didn't feel like I was doing anything. But I know that's an important part of music. But I didn't like it.
Yeah, everybody likes the bass.
I like to be
I
like in
don't
the
think we
front, you know.
really truly appreciate the bassists, but
Yeah, like Davey 405 on YouTube, the fucking bass king. It's like the most famous bass player on YouTube.
yeah, I don't know who that
He's so sick. He knows how to slap the bass.
is.
Yeah, look up Davey 405 Shell Shock. You might like him if you don't already know him. But let's get back on topic.
I was done with depression overriding.
Okay, then I'll do the next topic.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about Virus 23. Okay, so
Okay.
Virus 23 traces way all the way back from like the Cold War Russian documents, and at this time they were researching something called mimetic entities. So mimetic entities, they exist only in a space that hold ideas. They call these like they actually call them monsters. But actually like these monsters, these entities, mimetic entities, they hold like all our ideas like in a cloud. Kind of like cloud storage, but with our conscious and whatever everybody else is thinking. Because I was gonna mention this like to Chris, because we all talk about it all the time. Remember a long time ago when we were kids and everybody was drawing that S shape that looks like a
Yep.
graffiti?
Yep.
Well, people were doing that all around the world before the
Mhm.
internet was a thing.
Mhm.
Why the hell were we doing that? And
True.
who even taught us to do that?
We were cool kids. You know, that's what all the cool kids did back then. Draw it all over our notebooks.
That was like the one weird thing that, when I was young, I thought we only did that in our school. But then when I moved to Georgia, they were doing it here too. And I was like, the hell, they were doing this shit everywhere? And that's when I talked to Chris, and Chris was like, yeah, we did it when we were younger also. So then I was like, what? Before like everybody was using the internet. So that's when I started to think like, okay, maybe everybody's conscious, their mind, whatever they're thinking, it's all in the cloud, and we're all just picking pieces from that cloud,
Do you
doing
think
the
maybe
same
the
shit.
ideas are being downloaded from the cloud into our minds?
Yeah, like we're all thinking like the same shit. That's why like when we see a meme, right, where it really resonates with us, we're like, holy shit, somebody is like that too. But actually, like everybody's like that. That's why these memes are so powerful. Like when we start seeing shit like where they're talking about like, oh yeah, I do that too. But then you find out everybody else was doing it too. So everybody else is the same.
We're all the same.
Weird, right? So that's like, so this thing like with virus 23, they said that this been going on. Like they had this idea of um this collective consciousness like since like what was like in the 50s or some shit like that. Like when they started like thinking like, okay, I think everybody's minds are connected. So they started researching it. Like this is the Russians doing this shit. But
Yeah.
I'm sure like in America they did all the same shit. Right?
We were just a little bit behind.
Yeah, like but then like there's things like that's like 100% like with theories, ideas, and philosophy, where everybody around the world had the same theories and philosophies.
Yeah.
This is before like
Yeah.
internet and stuff. Everybody
Yeah.
was on the same page.
Yeah.
Even like back then, how everybody had like a dragon in their culture. Isn't that weird? How did they all made up a mythical creature, and it all has the same, like, it looks all similar.
Didn't this one link to a different theory too within this video?
What was that theory?
The other theory? I don't know. I'm looking at my notes.
Okay, so there's
Oh, I found it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It's Incornings, I think is how it's pronounced.
And Corning.
Yeah, all human cultures who have never had contact with each other.
Oh,
You'll
that's
see
what they call it.
similarities
Yeah,
within
yeah.
their own cultures.
Yeah, that's like the thing. Like I was saying, like how other cultures separate on different continents. They all have like the same idea of like old mythical stuff.
Yeah.
Even like the designs of like weapons and stuff, it's all very similar. It's like everybody thought of the same shit at the same time. Here's another example that's freaking freaky. Like the telegram, when a dude out here invented the telegram, another guy like in France or something out there in Europe invented the telegram almost at the same time he did. Like they had the same idea that sparked at the same time, and then they invented the same exact shit. It's just slight variations, but it's the overall idea is completely the same.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, so this was before internet, before everything, before people calling each other up on the telephone. They invented the same shit, but it's a different continent. Wow,
That's
right?
crazy.
That's so fucking crazy. Shell Shock says because we live in a simulation. Yeah, we live in a fucking computer, and everybody is just collecting like whatever knowledge is in the cloud, and then they're actually acting on whatever they collect from the cloud, right? Because like Chris was saying, like, oh yeah, you speak about it, but then you end up seeing somebody else actually executing that idea that you thought of, which is true. You ever thought of something like when you were like a kid, and then later you found out that they actually invented it?
What if we don't say anything? Like, don't talk about our ideas to anybody, which I have tried this before, but I end up like spilling the beans to one person. And somebody else still thinks of it or does it. Like, I can't think of an instance where that happens, obviously, but.
Well, that's like, it's almost like, you know how we're thinking of something, right? Like, let's say we're thinking about buying like a lawn chair, but we never spoke about it. We never typed about it. But then you get an ad about lawn chairs.
Yeah.
That would be like like the reality of like a conscious being collected from a cloud and like shown to you,
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
which is like the scary version where
Yes,
we're actually
that
seeing
is
it
scary.
play out like in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and we
Because
don't know how.
this actually happened to me today. Because the other day I was like, damn, like, like one day I was thinking, I was like, I don't ever want to clean my house no more. I was just thinking about this. I was like, I'm going to have a maid clean my house. Right? I just thought about it. I was like, yeah, I was like, that's a cool idea. Just having a maid just clean the house while I'm eating popcorn and stuff. And then I got an email today about a house cleaning service, like maid service, like an email. Not even an ad. Like they got my email address.
Got your
I was like, holy
email.
shit. They went straight to the source. So I thought that was a little freaky.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, I don't need maid service right now. A little too
Uh,
early. Oh, you got to
if
read
you're at
that
that
long one,
point,
huh?
if you're at that point in your life where like you can afford a maid,
Yeah.
I envy you. Although then I also feel bad for you because like are you really that lazy that you can't clean?
Well, it comes like if you reach like a different point, like a different level in life, it's almost like you can't do stuff like that anymore
True.
because it's
Yeah.
gonna
Right.
because it's like cutting your own grass and being a billionaire. That doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
right? Because like, okay, why are you doing like these little things where you could be taking care of more important things? Because
Why are
you
you
have,
doing those peasant tasks?
I wouldn't see it like that. It's almost like because the
No.
most important resource like in anybody's lives is time. Pretty
Yeah.
much you're becoming rich so you can have your own time instead of
Yeah.
working on somebody else's time. That's why like I hate working for other companies because I'm working on their time. That's the one thing I hate the most. That's why I'm trying to get out of this and I'm trying to buy my own time because that's more valuable. But read Shell Shock since that's so long and my English is bad.
Okay. Fun. Shell Shock says a fun one I was reading recently is that we're not actually from this realm. That we're actually from a place that has super advanced virtual reality. It's just a game or simulation, maybe even sort of a prison. So if I were to die tomorrow, my 36 years of existence would have been only a few minutes where we're actually from, like Black Mirror type stuff, which could help explain why there are so many weird similarities, like you're talking about. Just a fun thought.
Yeah, that is like another idea of thinking about like how our reality is because if there is a collective consciousness, right? Wouldn't we be in some type of simulation, right? Because it's almost perfect. Like
Yes.
everybody's grabbing the same shit from a cloud, and then if you put that into like reality, like how we're doing cloud storage, it's the same concept, but this is real life, right? With the quotations. If this is real life,
Life.
yeah. So yeah, that's that. I think a lot of people thought about that, like the possibilities that this actually is just a fucking game, because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense no more. Excuse me. Yeah, like NFTs, that doesn't make no fucking sense.
Nope. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you spend that much money on a piece of art? Like, although buying and selling art physical form is probably way more expensive, if not similar to NFTs, but
That's
a
old school though.
picture, yeah,
Because
picture of
like
a monkey to
yeah, like
sell for however much money, ridiculous.
because like back then, right? Even as like a child, when we look at like art galleries, and we're like, oh, that piece sold for $70,000, but then you look at the art piece, it's almost like three shades of one color,
Hmm.
like in a black, and then you're wondering like, how did that sell for that much? Like
Yeah.
do the rich people see something different in that painting than a normal person that can't afford that painting? So then you start to wonder like, okay, maybe it's not about the art, maybe it has something to do with money, like moving money, laundering money.
Mm.
There you go. That's everything clicked after that when I thought about it like that. I was like, okay, so the rich people, that's one way for them to move like assets or keep like their assets safe, or
Definitely.
not get hit with tax or whatever,
Hmm.
because they got to put that money somewhere. So they start, I don't know, putting it into churches and shit and donating it to charities, which is their own charity. I don't know. Right?
But like at least physical art, you could display it like in your house or something like that. But NFTs, like how do you display an NFT? You just buy it and then you just kind of keep it in a folder on your computer?
There's some ways you can store it. Like they have this thing called infinite objects, where a company would put your NFT into like a picture frame, and then you can view it like that, like in
So have
physical
your own
form.
art gallery?
Yeah, but that's just
Okay,
a way to view it. But that's just viewing it. But you for sure you hold the key to the official, you know, NFT. Like that's the
true.
big difference.
Yeah.
Like you actually own it. Like you have the key. Like you bought that shit. It shows that you bought it. That's the big difference.
Okay.
And it's recorded like on a blockchain, and you cannot mess with the blockchain because how it's set up is the technology is crazy. Whoever made that up, I think some off-world alien made that technology up.
Probably.
Yeah, because yeah, we didn't program that shit. That's a program from outside this world. Computer program itself is alien.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that like when I started doing coding, and then halfway doing it, I was like, who the fuck made up this shit? And how did they figure it out? That's when I knew like that shit is not even ours. Like they taught us like the code, and then we just um what's the word? We just use the code, like we remix the code where we can use it. Wait, what was that?
We recycled it.
Not like recycle it, but like revised it into like where humans can actually do the coding to, because they use code to speak to computers.
True.
Where was I? Oh, okay, so the virus 23, right? So let's say like this consciousness is in a cloud. Like if that's true, they said like could we also transmit a virus like in the cloud where everybody's affected by a virus? So they're saying if one person thinks about a virus, right? It goes up to the cloud, and then it can affect other people that thinks about like the virus. Like let's say virus 23, and then when you hear the words about it, like you're affected with that virus because you just downloaded a piece of that virus. So now we're all affected because we all just talked about it.
We're all infected now. We're fucked.
Yeah, so it's saying like it's possible. Like if that's true, then it's possible to put a virus in the cloud. It's like opening up an email and getting a virus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that simple. And then we're all in the mix.
We all are.
We all caught that virus 23. He says it's a self-replicating mental contagion. So one person is conscious of that it causes the person to think about it, and then it goes in the cloud, and then everybody gets messed up.
And then, yep. Yeah.
Xiao Xiao says, treading along the lines of Roko's. How do you say that? Is that a person?
Those ballasts.
I seen that word somewhere.
I don't know if I even pronounced that right, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but that's virus 23. So, some people, they believe like even hearing the words, like we said, could feed into the cloud, and then everybody's affected.
Like everybody's going to be talking about virus 23 now because we talked about it and
Yeah,
we put it out there.
because 3 plus 2 is 5, right?
Definitely.
5 minus 19 is COVID 23. Yeah. But
Totally.
I gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
We'll take a little break. Next
Hold
one
on,
we're
I'm
gonna
finding
do.
it.
Next one we're gonna do is Bank of Souls.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
Shell Shock says all good. Really mid this time. Wait, this time you got it
Mild.
twice? You had COVID twice?
Yeah, he said again, so it must have. Oh, that sucks.
Damn, man, you gotta stop playing outside, man. You getting that COVID too easy. Your immune system, like I bet they're tired of fighting stuff. Of fighting all these viruses. Damn, you had it in August and then you just caught it again. That's horrible. I would hate to lose that much time. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
And we're back. All right, guys. So we're gonna talk about the banks of souls. Okay, so according to the Bank of Souls, there can be a finite amount of souls that can be existed throughout human history. This pool of souls is known as the Chamber of Gulf, and it exists at the base of the Tree of Life. So this is almost like a basic religion stuff, you know, the Tree of Life. Tree of Life at the bottom holds all the souls, right? So the Tree of Life, it bears fruit, and then the fruit is our souls. So whenever a child is born, or when a child is conceived, Gabriel, in the Bible, Gabriel, he goes down to the, to the bottom of the tree. He grabs the soul and said, hey, here you go, Billy. Here's your human soul. Go out there and show them what you're made of. Right? So there's like some instance, like with the soul, where they have like a slow season. This is what they call it, the slow season, where there's so many humans that's born at one time, where Gabriel, he cannot put all these souls in these people all at one time because people are having too much sex. Too many kids are being born at one time. It's like impossible, because if you think about everything is like a machine, let's say that is like a machine also, and then they couldn't keep up with the production. Mm-hmm. So in this case, when they couldn't keep up with production, right, people were being born at times where, let's say, the factory wasn't even, it was down, for maintenance. And then like Billy Part 2, your twin brother, right, he wasn't born with a soul because they said, hey, we were down for maintenance, you guys just keep having kids. We weren't able to give a soul to the other Billy. So he grows up being like soulless. No soul. So you want to explain like the other part of people that have no souls and what they're describing these type of people are like in real life?
What a could branch off of what you said by also explaining that another way to think of it is, which is what he explained too in the video, is think of it as like the Tree of Life, how there's all these branches, and each branch
I hear music.
Sorry.
This is wild, right, Shell Shock?
You know what? He was encouraging me to...
Melissa.
Party.
I have to hear this when I edit. And then I have to try to get rid of the noise.
Just AFI. Having an emo day. Anyway, so the Tree of Life, there's fruit on the Tree of Life, right? And the fruit represents a soul. So when the fruit runs out, there is no soul to fill it. It's just another way of looking at it. But the people who are presented in this world and not given a soul are basically NPCs, so non-playable characters. And they're here to essentially judge the ones that do have a soul if they are to basically judge their worth and to see what they're doing here, how they're living their life, if they're actually living their life to the way that it should be lived,
right.
It should be done. Because
you know how like you go through life, right, whatever, then you come across people that you don't even know, and they're always trying you all the time, almost like who the fuck is this person? Why the hell they're trying so hard to bring me down? This could be like one of those people that's like soulless, like they don't really care. They want to see you fail. They want to see your downfall. They want to see you. They don't want to see you succeed. So they put a lot of thoughts like in your head. Like, let's say you give them like an idea and then they shoot it down. They're like, I don't know if you should take that route. I don't think everybody else is doing it. I don't think you're capable of like achieving that. They would try to feed you these ideas like, okay, like you're not really worth it to even do something like that. And then, because this actually happened to me like younger, like when I was younger, and somebody told me that and I actually believed it. Then I didn't go on with like what I had planned, and I chopped that plan off because of what somebody said to me. And then I looked back and I was like, damn, this motherfucker fucked me up. And then after that, like when I thought about it like that, I never let anybody like try to, kind of like, already see my future without me even actually doing it. Because they didn't go through them Like they didn't go through it themselves, and they're already telling me like the final outcome.
So it was somebody who influenced you to not do something based
Yeah,
upon their own decision.
yeah. They
Or
said, oh
their own
yeah, they're like,
opinion.
oh yeah, you shouldn't do that. You're gonna be wasting your time and blah 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm not gonna do that. And I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know, but that could be like an example of like an NPC, or another example of like NPC would be like you're in public, right? And somebody, let's say you work like with retail where you have to deal with people, and then they just fucking blow up on you because something little like you put too much mayonnaise on a sandwich, and they just fucking freak out. Something small like that because they're the NPC that goes wild.
Oh, fuck you for putting too much shit on my sandwich. I hate you.
Yeah. Well, what else would be like an example of like a NPC? Or we were talking about
Um,
it earlier, right? Like the
yeah,
generation that could, like a lot of them could be NPCs. Like the one generation. What?
well, I asked like, well, the ending to all this, um, oh, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So anyway, I asked you, um, what kind of generation do we think had so many people that were born but not enough souls to fill? And you mentioned the boomer age, like the baby boomer age.
Yeah, the baby boomers. Because after World War II, everybody was popping out babies so fast
Yeah.
that if you start to think about like the bank of souls, let's say that generation, a lot of those kids that were born in that generation, they missed out on a soul. They
Hmm.
just become like a robot, a working robot, and then they do their thing, and then they think one thing is the same like for everybody. Like their belief is like solid. They don't believe nothing else but what they believe in. Even
Yeah.
though like it's wrong, it's proven that it's wrong, they still believe it one way because they don't really have a soul. They just do what they're told, and a lot of the people, I think, in that generation, you can almost see it like for yourself. They're stuck
Yeah.
on like a belief. They don't know how to change.
Yep.
Like
They're stuck in the same thing.
same
Like,
pattern, same like
yep.
we have to listen. We have to do things a certain way. I was like,
Yep.
times are different.
And I see it a lot,
Grandpa
especially
Rogers, yeah,
like right now, being in banking, my the bank that I work for, they're changing some account types, which I mean, some I understand, but others I don't. And all I see are older people, like the people from the boomer generation that are just coming in or calling and they're like, I don't understand this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get charged a fee. And it's like, no, slow your roll, grandma. Like, you're fine. Just, maintain a different balance or I'll change the account type for you. But it's things like that. And it's like little things, but they just freak out when it comes to change and they can't handle themselves or anything.
yeah. Like that generation, they're not too big on change. They like to have things the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're not open to new things, and they're stuck. They're not like the hip grandma. The hip
Yeah.
grandma, she's out there walking around with a tablet and shit, with a little stylus, paying her bills, doing her
Painter
doing her
Pokemon
thing,
Go.
doing
Has,
TikTok
has
dances. Huh?
has Apple Pay.
Yeah, like she pays with her watch. I was like, damn, grandma, stop making me look old.
I know.
Shell
But what
Shock,
I also go ahead.
Shell Shock says, we're in a baby bus right now where millenniums aren't having enough kids, so that would happen there, a surplus of souls. I think, yeah. Here's one thing like he was saying, like when like they don't really have enough souls, so they just start killing like the old souls so they could replenish the tree back like with souls, right?
I don't remember hearing that. I remember him saying that when the tree runs out of souls is when the apocalypse will happen and the world would end.
That'll never happen. You know why?
No, it won't, because there's too many people dying.
Because it happens every day. Imagine we go through apocalypse every day. We just don't realize it. It's
Oh,
another conspiracy. Like
just
every day
just
is the last
that
day. right? Let's say like every day, like your last day, like we just sleep, we blow up, but then we repeat, like we go through life again all the way up to this point.
Scary.
That is scary. That's like the other theory that every Thursday is the last day. Some shit like that. We talked about it before. Like every Thursday is like the last day. There's so many conspiracies on the iceberg.
There's so many. And I feel like I've only heard of like a handful of them on this iceberg.
Yeah, I heard about maybe 30% of that whole list. Because a lot of it seems like somebody's making up stuff just to get it on there.
Just just to get something on there.
The 5-minute theory? What are you talking about? Shell shock?
That was on the list. I saw that on there.
What tier was that on?
I have no idea.
The 5-minute theory. That sounds like it might be like in the 4th tier, because that sounds like really off. Did you come across the Ascension Blacklist?
On the iceberg?
Yeah.
It sounds familiar, but I think it's just because I think you've mentioned it or talked about it before.
Yeah, it's very similar to how like religion runs. You know, like how religion's saying if you do bad things, you're not gonna be able to go to heaven and stuff. Well, the Ascension Blacklist is a list prepared by the people high up when humankind finally ascends to the next plane of existence. And some people, they aren't able to extend to that existence because they didn't achieve something like in this lifetime. Therefore, like us, right, we keep on reincarnating until we reach to a level to where we can actually ascend to a higher dimension.
See, I feel that's mentioned in other theories, though. Like, I feel like some of these theories are just the same and just reworded.
Yeah.
And slapped with a new name.
Yeah. Even like, yeah, religion's like that. It's reworded.
True. Yeah, that's right.
It's like the text is manipulated, which is why you can't really trust that shit. That's why I say, like, if you can follow your heart and actually feel like what you think is right, then that's right. You don't have to follow anything. You don't have to follow any religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why religion's like so dangerous, you know, because in some countries religion, they take it so serious with they'll kill your whole family, you know, if you do something wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Read it the wrong way.
That's why like they took religion and then they used it as a form of power over people, make people fear it. That's where it gets really messed up. Shellshock says, basically, everything was created only 5 minutes ago. I may be blending it with the Thursday theory, although they're similar. Yeah, it is similar to the Thursday theory. But, yeah, it's like, imagine that, like, everything was created just 5 minutes ago. We're just going through it. We're a part of the simulation, and that's why our memories are so fucked up, because we're just downloading memories, like, from a memory bank. Like when we wake up, right? We're just reloading the file. Recent file opened, you know?
And we're just going to change it, edit it, and then save it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're going to make him forget that he was worthy. Oh, read Shell Shock?
I couldn't find it on the iceberg, by the way. I was trying to find it. But anyway, there's another one where the universe doesn't die a heat death, but actually expands and contracts. So when it contracts, the big crunch happens, then the big bang happens again, and everything plays out again. This could be our 10,000th run through, but we could never know, or we would never know.
Could be, right? Because that's where deja vu comes in effect.
Yeah.
Like where we're going through life and then like, hey, I kind of felt like I already went through this before. Right?
But
yeah, deja vu. Like it's almost like you just remember like a time and period where you kind of already saw this happening. Like you already saw unfolding. You just can't put the puzzles together. But like, I felt like this already happened.
Or like you've done it in your previous life.
Yeah, so like what you were saying, how everything just starts over, bloop, 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 but then back to the point, like what you're running now. And then you get the deja vu because, you know, the brain, or if you're a computer, it's not always perfect. You can get like remnants of, you know, data from a different hard drive for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because data, Like even if you delete something, it still exists. It can only be override for where it gets override so many times to where, okay, you forget it now. You know, that's why they have FBI knows how to do data recovery. You can't really delete anything. It still exists. Same shit. Huh?
So no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what, like you can delete it, like it still exists.
You think you deleted your porn history? Think again.
Yeah, even anything. Read Shell Shock?
I already did.
No, you didn't read this one, the new one.
Yeah, that's what I just read.
He said there's another universe. Oh, you read that?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Thought you were reading something from your notes because it was so well written.
No, that's just a Shell Shock and his magic right there.
There you go, Shell Shock. Like I thought she was reading a fucking like an article or something. Good shit, man.
Welcome back, Billy.
I never left. I never left. I'm here. What else we got?
I have another one.
Okay.
It's called the Golden Rule of Nature.
Oh, the golden ratio.
The Golden Rules of Nature. Yes. So yeah, the four.
The Fibonacci. Fibonacci was actually a dude that discovered it, but he didn't discover it. He's just the one that put his name on it. Like the golden ratio, it always existed, but he was the one that put his name on it. It's like, hey, we should pay attention to this. But go ahead. That's why his name is on it. That's why they call it the Fibonacci sequence.
Yes, yeah. That's what it's called. So with the Golden Rules of Nature, there's 4 rules. 1 is balance, 2nd is growth, 3rd is harmonization, and 4th is love. It's balanced in the way you live. You have to grow. You have to harmonize within the world around you, and love has to be a passion. Depression is a killer, of course.
Would it be like love in any form? Like not just like with a person?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you can love yourself. You can love water. I feel like just having the emotion and feeling the...
Yeah, that you feel strong. It could be anything, like a hobby too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that in itself is just...
Like collecting rocks.
I collect rocks.
Like, I mean, if you love it, you feel it, you partially feel obsessed with it, that would be like a type of love, right?
Yeah.
Because it makes you, like, I think, like, when you're doing something, like, when you really love, time doesn't even exist no more. You forget all about time.
Yep. You're kind of... I always said this about, like, decorating cakes. Like, every time I would decorate a cake, I was in my own bubble. Like,
you're in the zone.
The world around me did not exist. Time did not exist. Nobody existed. It was just me and whatever I was focusing on.
Then that's it. You ever seen that movie? It's a Pixar movie. I don't think it's Pixar. I think it was on the Disney Plus, right? I think it's called Souls. It's like an animated CG movie. I didn't see that one. With the character, like he ended up dying. Like he's like a piano player. He's really good. And then he ended up dying. And then he his soul is like in like lining up with other souls. And then like he was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be dead. But then he goes into like this room where it shows people when they're in the zone. Like, you know, when, like, imagine it like being like ultra instinct. Like you're just doing your shit, right? Because you're like, let's say you're a musician, and when you're in the zone, you're a musician, you hit every single note perfectly because you're in the zone. Or like a basketball player. Like when he's on fire, he hits every shot, you know, because he's in the zone. And they show like people when they're doing their thing, when they're in their zone, they show them doing, you know, their thing. So I would imagine like when you're doing the cake decoration, you're in that zone where you're doing like exactly what you love, and then you're just going with the flow. You're not thinking about nothing else like time or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think like if everybody can get to that point in doing whatever they love, that's it.
And you found your purpose.
Yeah, you guys should watch that movie. I think it's called like, it's Soul.
I think it is called Soul.
Soul something, yeah, Soul.
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It's a heartwarming movie. It makes you think about your own life. Like you shouldn't take your life so serious and stuff. Like
Yeah, it's called
nobody.
Soul.
Yeah, watch it. I forgot who does the voice. Was it?
Oh, I got it.
What's his name? Yeah, I forgot who does the voice. But it's a good movie. You'll
Jamie
feel it.
Foxx?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx. Yeah, he does the voice. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, you seen it? Yeah, yeah. The Mushroom Trip is kind of like that too. You see things in like other perspective, like from like an animal or whatever. Because he was like a cat at one point in the movie. He saw the perspective of a cat. Yeah, it makes you think like, okay, like your life can end anytime. Just do what the thing that makes you not even think about time.
Donnell Rawlings is in it. He's a voice in it.
Who?
The one guy from the Chappelle Show. Um, what was his character
Chris
in
knows.
Chappelle? I know Chris would know. Um, he always did the Ashy Larry, I think. Or no, that was Dave Chappelle's character, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
Ashy Larry.
that was Dave Chappelle. Where he's itchy and shit.
Yeah, but
Talking
this
about the
guy was
crackhead
just like,
character.
yeah, I think it
Yeah, that's Dave Chappelle.
is. Yeah, the I'm rich, bitch. That one, that guy. Remember? I know you know who I'm talking about.
Isn't he dead?
He was dead too, but he's alive.
I don't know. I don't know the name. I don't really know the names of like celebrities and stuff. I don't really keep up with that. But I know their face. I have a hard time putting like a name to it. Shell Shock
Yeah,
says Ashy Larry was a different one. That wasn't Chappelle. It was the World Series of Dice. He's still alive. Bald
Bald
short dude.
Short.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't put
You
a.
remember one of the Dave Chappelle episodes when they would do like the World Series of Dice and he'd like have the character that I'm talking about have the dice in his hand and when he'd blow on it like a puff of smoke would come
Yeah,
out
I remember
like
that.
it was that guy.
Oh, I still can't see the face. I remember the scene though with all the dust that flew off the
Yeah.
dice. Yeah, but I can't put a face on it.
That's okay. It's not that important. Um anyway, going back to the golden rules of nature. Um if someone is not balanced, grown, connected, harmonized, and in love with their spirit, their lifestyle, it leads to a spiritual death. Um, it's also
Yeah,
mentioned
because
that,
like if they're not like really doing what they really want to be doing, like they go into like this depression mode, but they don't even know why, because they're almost on like autopilot
yeah,
because they're just doing like what's right for. Okay, I need to do this because I need to make money from it, but they never actually think about themselves.
how it's really affecting them.
Yeah, then this is when they forget about themselves. They forget about everything that they like. So they forget
Hmm.
like what their passions are. Like, hey, do you have a dream? When they ask them that, like, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. They don't know because they never really had time to actually sit down and think about, hey, what do you really like besides working for the man?
Right. What really makes you happy?
Yeah, so a lot of people go through that.
Yeah, I feel like even myself included. I think everybody
Yeah,
does. And I think
yep.
it takes a long time to really find your true passion or what truly makes you happy in life. That's something that you truly love to do.
Yeah, oh that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. But yeah, like it almost comes down to if you're willing to take the risk. Like if you really want to aim for like what you really want to do, and then just say,
Mhm.
hey, fuck like the regular
Yeah.
9 to 5 job. I'm just gonna chase like my shit.
Yeah. Fucking I'm
But there's a
me.
way you can do it to where you can balance both, and then plan like your escape route.
Hmm.
Like if you're just doing the job, you don't have like you're planning like an escape route, then you're gonna end up doing the same job until you die, basically.
Just the same cycle.
Yeah, and then you die, and then you come back like, oh man, I'm back in this same class. You repeat the same class over, and then depression hits. But then like society, it makes you like scared to do stuff, you know, because they say, oh, if you don't go to school, like guess what, you're not gonna get a good job. Sorry, Billy, there's no other roads for you. Like what the fuck? So you need school to actually live like a good life or whatever, to get, you know, make enough money to buy your own time and shit. You have to go to school for that. That's not true.
Nope, not at all.
People, they go to school. Like this is what I did. I went to school and I end up having to pay all these fucking loans and shit. I'm not living that life and shit because I went through that path.
Or you go like me, and I went to a year of community college, got kicked out because I failed all my classes because I didn't want to go, and then ended up paying, what I had to pay, and haven't gone back since because I don't want to go to school.
Wait, so you paid to go to school and then you fail all your classes?
Yeah, I paid for each semester. Well, I had to repay.
Okay, so you weren't, your brain wasn't even in it.
No, fuck no, I
Like
didn't
you were
want to be
just
there.
doing it.
Yeah, I was
Because you
doing it
thought
because
that
I
was
felt
like,
that's what I had to do.
you thought that was the road that you can only take to make more money. But it's so crazy how
Well,
people, they go through all these things to
no.
make more money. That's like the only thing they're thinking about. They don't think about like, okay, like the journey or what do you actually really want to do to make
Or the
that type of amount
destination.
of, huh?
The destination
Yeah, like
where they're going to end up at.
right. They're just thinking like, oh, I want to make so and so $100,000 a year working at a corporate job in so and so 42nd Street, 42nd Street, whatever. Right? But you're still working under somebody, so somebody, you have to do something for somebody to pay you. But in society, that's how it is. There's always gonna be people like that because it's almost like you seldom have to dream, but that's only what you want to do. But then a lot of people are okay with that and they're aware of that. Like, okay, cool. I don't want to fucking start my own company. I'm okay with
Hmm.
making so and so amount of money, which is okay also. But you have to
Yep.
be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're not okay with it, you're still doing the same thing. You're playing the same radio station. Guess what? The same radio station is gonna keep playing for the next however many other years that you're here. What's up, Chris Jones? Aaron Stuffwell?
Hello, Chris. Nice of you to join us.
He says, sorry I'm late. I'm just stopping by for a second.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're a mod too? That's crazy. Shell Shock is a mod. I gave him that mod role today.
You get mod status instead of VIP. Well, mod's better
I don't know
anyway.
how to do the VIP one.
It's the same place. You just click the drop down, and there's a section for a VIP. Or there's a little
Oh.
button that says VIP. Really, all you get is just a diamond next to your name. And really, I don't think you have
Oh,
any.
shit. Wait, continue?
With golden rules.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, shit, you VIP Shell Shock. You're the only one too. Only because you're here all the time. Only you get it.
I mean, he deserves it.
Oh, shit, look at him. He got a diamond. There it is.
I
Hey.
personally think the diamond looks better than the sword, but
Yeah, way better than the sword. Because the sword is like so common now.
yeah, it is. You don't see people with the VIP on
Sorry,
Twitch.
Chris, you stay moderator. Actually, I might demote you, Chris. Because Chris,
Well, that's fucked up.
he's on the real show.
He should
has
be
the
mod though.
Chris has the real show. Yeah. Chris has the real show. He has the real status. But go ahead with the golden ratio. Man, Chris, you missed a lot already, man. We're talking about life-changing shit. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we lead to a spiritual death. So society as a whole is spiritually dying, and will lead to something bad in the future because we do not treat spiritual existence as the same as physical existence, which I think is a very strong statement.
Yeah. You think like it's
So
more like profound like in America where it's like that where a lot of people they don't actually acknowledge like a spiritual side as much as other countries, other cultures, how they're really big on the spiritual side, because like in a for example, in an Asian country, like my country, for example, when somebody passes away, they do like a ceremony that lasts for like 100 days, where they celebrate the life of the person that passed over, and then
Oh,
at the end of like the 100 days, they have a shrine and everything for that person that passed away. It's not like a 1 day thing like how they do out here. When somebody passes away, they plan a funeral. Everybody goes to their funeral one time, and then boom, you're done. You forget about the person. So I think like the American culture, they're more light on the spiritual side, where okay, they do, like some of them do believe in it, but like the overall like American culture, they don't take it as serious as other countries, like how they go to the extreme to, mourn the person that passed away, like remembering the person. Then they do, it's crazy.
it is. I even think, not kind of separating ourselves from the religious standpoint, but just being spiritual in general. You don't even have to focus on, the fact that people are following a religious being, but just having some form of spirituality, whether it be like meditation or following crystals, doing tarot cards, or having your own sense of what you feel is spiritual. I mean, I feel like it's more common now, but I also feel like it's still not as common as it should be, because I think people still view spiritualism, like the stuff that I do and that I believe in, as like people being crazy,
Like woo,
or
right?
yeah, like voodoo or negative.
No, like woo. What I say?
Oh, you said woo woo?
Yeah.
I thought you said voodoo.
No, not voodoo. Like woo woo. Like they don't really believe it. Like oh, you believe in that
Bullshit.
crazy stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all bullshit. Like it doesn't really happen, but it
Yeah. It's
really
like
does happen.
they have an idea of it, but they're like like is that really a thing?
Hmm.
Yeah. People who I say, man, if you if you want to get in some real meditation, like you want to skip all the like
All the
sessions you
hard
have at the
work.
yoga gym, take one mushroom trip with me, and I can show you the meditation side of the spiritual world, and you will you will cry. Everybody cries.
Your version of the meditation, like by taking a mushroom trip, is that point where like I would want to go, but naturally, um, but it's very eye opening, obviously. So it would be a
Yeah.
really quick and easy way to get you to the point of where
Yeah.
you would see things,
Yeah.
the
It's like
natural way.
you don't have to be a meditation master. Like I can show you what they want you to see, because it's really eye opening. It'll change your life. Like you start viewing other things, and like you start seeing all the bullshit, like in this world. Like it's so crazy. And then the stuff that you're worried about is almost like, why the fuck are you worried about that shit? All right. Like I went through a mushroom trip, and then I saw a lot of shit that I was worried about, and then they're like, dude, why the fuck are you so worried about this shit? You're here for so short. Like you should enjoy like all the things that you like doing, and don't even think about stuff that's bothering you, because that does that help you. And then it shows you things like in a brighter light. That's why it's so positive. Like if anybody is going through like crazy depression where they're so sad, they know why they're sad, but then they don't know why they keep thinking about that. So like in these trips, like it'll show you like, hey, like either you change, or you're gonna keep feeling like this, and they'll make you feel that. Or if you go into a trip where you're super happy, guess what? It's almost like party time in meditation land. Like I was at like a theme park. I was at in somebody's brain, in a fucking toyland in the brain. It was crazy. Shell Shock says it definitely helped depressions and relieving anxiety and whatnot. Yeah. I'll show you the world, Aladdin style.
I will show you the world.
But yeah, there's actually a documentary that was just released by Vice on YouTube, like last week, where they talk about. Because I was wondering what the movement of mushrooms and psychedelics is, and then this whole documentary shows you like what they're doing right now, like the pharmaceutical companies, they're trying to patent this psilocybin shit.
Really?
Once they control that patent for psilocybin, it'll be illegal for anybody to do anything similar to that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fucked up. They're trying to control that market now. Yeah, where
well,
only the rich can get medicated like with psilocybin. Like they will have to pay $600 to $1,000 for like a session of mushrooms and stuff. But yeah, you guys should watch that documentary. It's on Vice. It's like a 40-minute long documentary. It's about this lady. She lost her mom to COVID, and she's going through a lot of like depression from like the past, and how she was treated and stuff like in the past, like with her mom and stuff. And then she ended up taking like psychedelics at the end of the documentary, and then you can see her. She was outside taking it, like listening to music, like how I do it with the blindfolds. Mm-hmm. And she went into like, she saw like the deep stuff that she was supposed to see, and she just started bawling. And a lot of people that they hold like a lot of stuff in, when they take a trip and then they actually do it correctly and they see what they're supposed to see, you can't even hold it in. It's impossible.
I would imagine it can't be. You wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you're not your real self. Like it's almost like you surrender. Like your ego surrenders to all of it. It's fucking powerful. Same with the Philip Morris guy. Yeah, dude, that guy is crazy. This dude was, he actually went to like the ocean, and he heard a rumor about a psychedelic fish. I was like, this motherfucker's so crazy. This guy's actually like a scientist. He looks like a scientist. So he goes out to like this country. I don't know. I think it was like South Africa or some shit. But they said that it was a psychedelic fish that if you eat it, you'll trip out. So he went to the country, and then he started eating like this psychedelic fish. He ate like the whole fucking fish. And he said that night when he was like trying to go to sleep, he had like the worst psychedelic experience, where something was coming out of the wall trying to attack him and shit.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Like it wasn't even fun. I think he was poisoned. He was poisoned by a fish.
Wow. Probably shouldn't have eaten the whole damn thing.
Yeah, he was like, I'm trying to trip out. I'm not trying to eat.
Let it live.
What Chris say?
Said I went to therapy for the first time last week and I have insane anxiety, which is funny that you say that because I have been telling myself for the last 2 months that I'm going to call a therapist and talk my things out with, somebody. And my biggest hurdle to get over is just making that initial phone call to call and set up the appointment, because I'm afraid of doing that. And then my second biggest hurdle is, once I get over that, is actually talking things out, because I'm afraid that it's just going to make my anxiety way worse than what it actually is.
Did you ever call the therapist?
No, nope. I have phone numbers.
BetterHelp.com?
No, I did actually look at BetterHelp, but it's not covered under my insurance, and I don't want to pay like a shit ton of money each week. So
why didn't you guys come out here? You guys want, like, come out to me. Let me help you guys. Yeah, like, if you guys don't believe me, I understand. But if you really believe me, come out here. I can show you. I can show you do you guys want to see a dead body? But yeah, I can show you guys. Like,
I don't want to see a dead body.
No, that's just a joke.
But
yeah, I can really help you guys. And it sounds crazy me saying it like online like this, but not me helping you, but I can take your hand to the door. I can show you the door where they can help you. I don't think you guys are seeing the big picture. That's why you guys are, whatever you guys are going through, you don't see the big picture. It's so hard to explain, but it's almost like, imagine this whole thing being a joke. It's like that. People are taking this life too serious. Just imagine it like that. That's the only way I can explain it. But once you see it, once you feel it, you'd be like, holy shit, I've been taking life too serious. You know, people worried about like the little small things that they shouldn't even be. Like, why did they put so much energy in worrying about the little small thing? But in the bigger picture, you're like, holy shit, I missed out on the big picture because I'm worried about the little tiny things. And then that's basically what the mushroom trip is going to show you is like, they'll laugh and be like, man, you're so worried about the wrong thing. You forgot about like what you're actually supposed to do out here, which is just to enjoy yourself and then perfect your soul. It's almost like you are taking a class, like you're being tested. But if you're doing the same thing over, you take the same test, you do the same thing on the same test, guess what? You have to take that same test over again if you think about it like that.
True. Okay.
Yeah, and the whole therapist thing, like, it's expensive. It's cool to talk to somebody that's not going to be biased to what you say because they don't know you. But there's other ways. If you have friends that can help, like, take that chance. What do you have to lose? That's all I got to say. Like, I'm here, you know? I don't charge nothing. Like, the thing about with shrooms, people try to make money off of that stuff. I don't believe in none of that. But I can't talk about that here. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll free. Everything is free. I just want to help. That's it. I don't want nothing. Yeah, I don't go to no silly therapist that's just gonna repeat what they read like in a little pamphlet, right? What is really going on in your household? And they get paid so much money. It's so crazy. But it's basically they're just listening. It's almost like it's crazy psychology. The fact that you're talking to somebody that doesn't know you.
It is, but I also think that some therapists try to find the root as to why you're feeling a certain way by asking questions that your mind can't actually think of to process.
Yeah, they give you new ideas to think about. Like they try to open new pathways for you to think about. They're trying to carve a new route in your brain. Yeah. Almost like if you think about it, it's like reprogramming. It does help because it does reprogram you to think differently. Because if you hear like a friend or family say it, you wouldn't believe it. But if you hear a stranger tell you that and you paid him and they told you that, you'll believe it more than a family or friend that told you that.
Yeah.
And then like when you actually listen to them, right? And then your family and friends say, hey, I've been telling you that for free. Why you didn't listen to me? It goes back to like the whole psychology effect with the brain. Like you would trust a stranger more than you would trust somebody you actually know, which is so crazy. And a lot of people are guilty of that.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit more different than that, though.
It is.
And maybe some people just don't believe that. It's like they're talking to a stranger, they're talking to somebody who in their mind think that can help them. And
no, they can definitely help. But I'm saying like the main goal for like a therapist to help you is to plant new ideas in your head, you know? It's to make you see like, okay, think of it this way. If you thought about it this way, and then you'd be like, oh shit, I never thought about it like that, you know? And then it makes you work on whatever you're supposed to be working on.
Whatever past trauma that we've met.
Yeah, I'm not saying like they don't help. They do help. That's why they exist. Therapists is just like talking to a friend. You talk to a friend, they give you good advice, and it helps. Same thing with a therapist. Just therapists, they're kind of expensive.
And they're there when we need them.
Yeah, the big thing is like they're not your friends. They tell you shit straight up. That's strangers. The big thing. That's what you're paying for. They're not biased, you know? Your friend,
not sugarcoat.
Yeah, your friend, they talk to you, right? They try to, like sugarcoat it, try to make you feel so good, but they're just lying to you. But when a friend tells you real shit, and then you're like, oh shit, that sounds fucking crazy. Guess what? You lost a friend because they were too real. Some people, that's why they say people can't handle the truth. Because when they tell you real shit, they're like, you're just a fucking hater or whatever. But then you're telling the truth, like, dude, go to a therapist. Go pay a therapist. Yeah, go pay a therapist to tell you some bullshit. But I'm not saying like a therapist is bad. If you need
It's not
help,
bad.
yeah. If you need help, go. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, they get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, like read Chris. He typed a lot.
Well, Shell Shock said the next time my kids are my kids off with his grandparents, I'm gonna try to make my way out there.
Dude, come here, Shell Shock.
He
100%.
said
I'm
his
gonna make a shrine for you, and you're gonna be so comfortable. 100%.
shrine.
Yeah,
Damn,
you're gonna be so comfortable, dude. I'm gonna take care of you. If you come out here, I'm gonna take care of you.
that should be an incentive enough.
Yeah, it's so crazy, right? Like stuff like that. I'm more happy to do, like, because I want you guys to see what I saw. Almost, I don't know. It's not a selfish thing, right? I just want you guys to see,
Huh.
like, there's another side, and it's real. I was like, who doesn't want to see this? This is here. We got to see this. That's why people they're fighting all the time. They don't understand, and there's so much chaos right now in the world because nobody gets along. Nobody get along with each other no more. It's crazy. But read Chris.
Chris, so therapy is too expensive. Getting mine through the VA, which is good. Military definitely made his anxiety worse, which I believe that. Um, there was a whole system for therapy. I had break down my life in 3 parts. Wow. Um, Psychedelics break reality. And it makes you really want to help yourself with the right teacher, meaning therapy. I see that though too. If you have that right therapist that really wants to work with you and help you better understand things, and then help you continue your life and
Yeah, that's hard to find
change.
though. Like a therapist where you can actually really connect with, because when you think about it, how many therapists talk to so many different people to where they're numb to like a lot of stuff that their patients say, so they're
Yeah,
not really getting like a real genuine connection. That's like one thing that I thought about therapists. Like they go through so many different stories to where they're hearing the same story over and over again, to where they're not really connecting with you, but they almost have to fake like they're connecting to you because they hear the same record player playing over and over again. That's like one thing about like therapy where I couldn't see myself going to a therapist. I mean, I'm I'm being biased about it because I found a different way for therapy, but that me, that's my throat.
I didn't hear anything.
But yeah, but people who they're not really open to like a different form of therapy, like where they think it's just too crazy, then a therapist would be like the best way to go. Safe route, everything. You
Mm-hmm.
just gotta spend some money, but it does help. I'm not saying it doesn't help. Shell Shock says, "Say less. I already had an idea to do it, and I guess it would be all right to see Chris in person again, dude. Come out here, man,
Oh, he meant psychedelics too, as far as having a good teacher. That's
dude.
true.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't say like I'm a good
Teacher.
teacher, but I'm good at taking you there. I'll make
Nope.
sure you're okay. Like because the last session I did with a friend, it was perfect. Everything was perfect. It was almost like I said, good luck and go meet your ancestors. That's exactly what he did, and it was beautiful. He came out of the trip like his eyes was so wide open. He was like, wow. He met his other family on the other side. It was so crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah. He was just like, oh man. Like it was almost like he was like relieved, because he know what's on the other side. That's why like when cancer patients they take psychedelic trips, they're not so afraid of dying no more. They feel relieved, like,
Because
oh
they,
okay. It's like they see it like they're like, okay, why
yeah,
would I be so worried about this?
right, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Read Chris. Let me just pee real quick.
I already read Chris. Okay. Well, hi. Shellshock, you say, I'm not worried about it. Last time I did was a couple years ago, but didn't get the trip. But I felt great for a month after that, despite everything going on in my life. They don't scare me. So the last time you did it, you didn't actually get the full trip. Maybe you just didn't do it right? Or yeah, he really just like was like, see ya, peace, and then left. You know? That's okay. My show now. Just kidding. Um, so
I'm back.
Shut up, Chris. I'm trying not to make it awkward.
That.
I'm not meant for podcast life.
What? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
I know, because you just like dipped out on me and like left.
I had to pee really bad. Like I was.
Apparently.
I was dripping. Oh.
Ew.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a shower after this. Whoa.
Nasty.
It's not that funny, huh? Shell Shock says, I'm not worried about. He says, I'm not worried about it. Last time I did was a couple of years ago, but didn't get the trip. But it felt great for a month. After that, despite everything going on in my life, they don't scare me. Dude, let me tell you something. I'm just going to say it on this podcast. Like with the whole mushroom trip and stuff. I was going through like an experimental phase with mushrooms. Trying to figure out this whole shit, right? Dude, I did almost, I would say almost 30 trips, but never had a trip, right?
Wow.
So I thought I wasn't eating real mushrooms.
Thought you were broken?
So like, I was like, dude, I'm not getting that, I'm not getting that LSD effect. Because the first time when I really tripped out was with LSD, but it was too strong. But I was like, let me try to get the same effect with mushrooms. And I did it like maybe 25, 28 times with mushrooms. I was like, damn, like this shit is not as strong as LSD. I can't get that trip. But I was doing it wrong the whole time. And I figured out how to do it perfectly now. Like I feel comfortable like having other people do it. Because I went through the whole phase. I went from like 1 grams all the way to 9 grams, which is a crazy amount. Like you want to see the dark side, you take 9 grams. But I did all that shit, but I was doing it wrong the whole time. But I figured out, I know how to do it now. Yeah.
Mastered it.
Yeah, I mastered it. Because like new people that I went under my wing one time, they went through the perfect trip where they saw whatever they're supposed to see. Crying and everything, you know, like this is so amazing. Like I can't believe nobody knows about this. Like not more people know about it. It's like one of those things where you discover something that's so like life changing. You wish you can help everybody. It's like that. Yeah, I was like a scientist for like half a year with mushrooms. Because I was really trying to figure it out.
And you did.
Yeah, I know how to do it.
Do you feel like there's more that you need to learn? Or do you feel like you've already learned enough?
I need to practice what I learn. That's like my problem. Like I learned a lot, but right now I feel like kind of like I'm off the path where I'm not practicing what I learned. So I know if I take it again, it's going to be the same thing. And they're going to be like, hey, the fuck are you doing, man? You trying to pass Earth class or you trying to repeat? Right?
Do you think it's been too long for you to go back? Or they're just going to reprimand you for waiting this long or not practicing?
Here's what I think. Like, one reason why I haven't went back, because to me, it's kind of scary. Like, you know, I used to do it and not be afraid of it, but I've done it to the point where it's almost scary. Because I'm doing it by myself. There's nobody sitting there like in a chair watching me, you know. So it's scary. And then when you see it, and then you see these scary faces almost trying to scare you, like blowing smoke in your face. This is what I see. Like, I see like an octopus lady, sharp teeth, fucking blowing smoke in my face. And I'm like, I'm like, what? I'm trying to trip, but why are you trying to scare me? Right? And then I go through phases like that to where I'm like, I don't want to do it. So, but I'm not trying to scare people like that, because if you do it with me, I'll be there present with you. So you shouldn't be scared.
Well, not only that, but that's not what everybody goes through. I feel like everybody's experience is very similar, but it's also very different.
Yeah. It's one thing, like, you really gotta respect, like, the mushroom thing. Like, you really gotta respect it, because it's sacred. It's not like taking Advil. Like, this is like a real thing. Like, you're messing with another dimension. Like, they know you. They know everything. They know you better than you know yourself. And then when you realize that, that's when your ego is gonna be dead. You're like, fuck. If they know all this shit, then, like, who am I really? We're playing like a character out here, a silly character. With everything that we think is cool and shit, we compact it into this little earthling character, and everything is a joke, and we take everything too serious. That's how a lot of humans are. When you see like somebody that's really free, like a free flying eagle, these are the people that laugh at funerals. Because they already know where they're gonna go. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
No. I was gonna say, going back to what we were talking about, but
okay.
That was the end of the golden rules of nature part. So
what is that again?
I feel like, huh?
What is that again?
The golden rules of nature.
Yeah.
To have balance, growth, harmonization, and love. So to basically balance in the way you live.
The golden ratio.
Grow, harmonize within the world around you, and love has to be a passion.
That's like the one important thing that sounds so silly, but love is the main thing that you can actually take, like, from this dimension all across all dimensions.
Yep.
You have to show love for one another.
Don't
Can't be cold, because
other lives.
Yeah, like, there's like levels that we go through where we are actually judged by something. Every culture knows that. Egyptian culture knows about that. Whatever religion out here, they all know about that. Every religion knows about that. They weigh your heart on, like, against a feather. That was one of the Egyptians one, right? They see how heavy your heart is compared to like a feather.
Love makes no sense because there is no true definition of love. I think everybody's perspective of what love is very different from one another's. So having a love and a passion for a hobby is one thing, but that I might see it as something and you see it as something else, or Chris sees it as something else, or Shell Shack sees it as something else. And it's the same thing with actually, like, the idea of love, like loving another person. It's everybody's idea and concept of love is very different.
I think love, like, it's like anything that you do where you forget about everything else.
Having a passion, yeah.
No, not just like passion.
Not even.
But passion. Like, when you hang out with somebody, right? And you feel so much love for them, you forget all about the time. And like, oh shit, it's fucking 9 o'clock already, and then you guys were hanging out since 1 o'clock. Like, you forget about everything else. So that, like, for me, love is like something that you really enjoy doing, like, to where you forget about everything else, including time. It's like timeless because you're so into whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're hanging out with a girl or a guy, or you're doing like a passion project where you completely forget about everything else, everybody. You're like, oh shit, it's fucking 12 in the morning. I've been working on this shit all day. It's anything that you have like ultimate passion to where you forget about everything.
Yep.
But then you have to show love to one another. Don't be cold.
Yeah, of course. That's also important as well.
Yeah.
Very important.
That's another thing.
part of harmonizing.
Harmonizing would be like what? Vibrations?
Yeah, vibrations, just getting along with each other, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Singularity?
Like maybe to just like be able to mingle or be in the just flow with each other. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Don't just be a dick all the time.
Yeah, don't be like me.
I feel like it's harder to be an asshole and a dick all the time to be nice and compassionate.
Yeah, because being a dick, you have to hold that character.
It takes so much energy to be an asshole.
It is. I think it takes more energy to be mean than it takes just to
put a smile on your face and make
have
somebody
a simple, a simple smile than stabbing the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friends, man, you gotta look out for each other.
Look out for each other is right.
My door, if you guys know me, my door is open. Like, as far as like, hey, you guys want help? Door is open.
So if I come to your house right now, I just open up the door and walk right in. I don't need a key. I don't need a passcode.
No, you gotta at least ring the doorbell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Door is open for you guys. I can show you a brand new world. Like I'm dead serious too. Like, it's not even. Give me 8 hours, I could change all your lives. Well, they can change your lives. I could just take you to the door. Then whatever they show you, hey, you gotta sign a waiver because I don't know what they're gonna show you.
I'm gonna come in with a warrant, so I'll just come in with my
ding,
bat,
ding dong.
Door.
Who is it?
On a Post-it note. I'll just slap it on your face.
You got a warrant. So you gotta go through the back door. Take the back door route. Shell Shock, when you come out here, it's gonna be so fun, dude. Try to come in 2022. I'm ready for you. You can sleep in the mushroom room.
With all the other mushrooms. You sleep with the spores.
Yeah, he's gonna sleep with them in the mushroom room. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys need help, you got no other outlets, there's a therapist on standby, talk to a therapist. Because it's better to talk about somebody that's not going to judge you. Don't like go to people that really know you because they're just going to tell you what you want to hear. And that's not working. That's not going to help you. You know, when they tell you like what they think is going to help you, but that's not going to help you. A true friend, they're going to tell you like what's really wrong. Shell Shock says, I'm going to try. I have a lot going on this year, but I'm going to try. If you're going to try, I'm going to try too. I'm going to get you out here. And then I'm going to get Chris to help me get you out here. Okay. Yeah. Somebody sleepy on the other end.
Sorry. Got like no sleep.
Yeah, I was saying like we're just going to try to do like 1 hour podcast since this is like a.
How long has it been? Because I haven't been paying attention.
It's about 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have to cut a lot of stuff out.
Like my music?
No.
I'm sorry.
Shell Shock says I have a bachelor party in Austin and a wedding in Michigan.
Wow.
Damn, busy guy.
Yeah.
Busy guy. But yeah, whenever you get done with all that and then you want to plan a time to come out here, my doors are open. But let's do it. We can do like a fucking one big session. Everybody do it all together. We all cry together. We all get naked together. We're gonna become one. Yeah,
wow.
To where it doesn't matter if you guys want to take clothes. I mean, I don't care. If you're no comfortable, judge. Like cool. I won't judge you. You know, like it's gonna be a good time. We're all gonna be free. We're all gonna be like, oh shit, this is life. We're gonna earn our badges. We're gonna get our marks. You know, this is how people become closer when they put walls down, you know, like this character everybody's playing, like, oh, you gotta be the cool guy or whatever. This is like the time where we can just break all the walls down and just be human, like be together. It's gonna be so fucking cool, man. We're gonna, at the end of the day, we're gonna be in a little teepee tent, and then we're gonna wonder who the fuck built the teepee. It's gonna be like that, like, holy fuck, we got a fucking a Navajo Indian came out here and built a teepee for us, but Shell Shock was the one that built it.
I didn't know the media hijacked made thongs. I want one.
Yeah, it will be available spring of 2022.
You're rolling out a swimwear line.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a NFT thong.
So funny.
But yeah, we have to end this episode, but it was fun. Thank you, Melissa, for filling in for Chris.
You're welcome.
Because I didn't tell Chris this, but we had to do this episode today or Apple was going to punish us. So that's why I need to upload an episode tomorrow or it's going to be problems. But we're going to have an episode on Friday. Chris is going to be back on Friday. And then we're going to be back on regular schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. Peace out. Adios. See you guys on Friday. I'll see you guys in 2 days.
Yeah,
peace
good
out.
Night. See ya.
Adios.
Bye.
It's not really good to know this.